Dallas.
Spicy.
So the Warriors have to play 48 minutes.
I think it's going 7. I have the Nuggets at 7.
Ant-Man, Batman, Watchman, Lakers at 5.
Well, it's money time now.
Welcome back, YouTube, to the GOATcast podcast. I'm your host today, Big Nige, joined with, of course, CW and my dog, Ron Dog. How we doing today, fellas?
Doing good.
Preparing to show the world why Tim Duncan is better than Hakeem Olajuwon. So make sure y'all check that out after this.
Okay, and you'll be debating who again? Just for the fans to know.
King's Speech.
King's Speech.
So I gotta put another L on King's Speech's record. My bad, but yeah, we gotta get you out of here on this one.
So definitely tap in, check in for that. For today's show, we just gonna keep it short and sweet. Although short and sweet never really happens on this channel lately, but we're gonna be doing the questions for each of the teams going into the NBA season. We're just gonna do the Western Conference today. Otherwise, this video would take way longer than it needs to. And then we're also going to end it on, our way too early NBA season awards. So that's MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, which everybody probably knows who that's going to be, Rookie of the Year, and so on. So we're going to go in reverse order. We're going to start at the bottom of the Western Conference. So we're going to go ahead and start with the Utah Jazz. Now, I'll start this one since I'm the host. For me, it's more like where are they going to get their offense? Because after they lost John Collins and Colin Sexton, Collins averaged 19 points a game and Sexton averaged 18 points a game. So who's going to take that step for them? I don't know if it's going to be Ace Bailey. We saw I can't pronounce that name, Flipowski. I probably butchered his last name, but he balled in summer league and Ace was playing really good. Yeah, he is. Flipowski is a Dookie, so that's probably why I don't know his name. Shout out UNC. But Flipowski balled in the summer league. So, where are we going to get those points from? So that's my question. And also, who's their leading core? Because, again, you just offloaded some of your, veteran pieces in Sexton and Collins. Where's that offense going to come from? So what do you got, CW?
My question is, how bad is this season going to be for you guys? Yeah, I mean, I would ask similar questions to you. I mean, they have marketing, and that's pretty much it. But this just seems like another rebuild season that they're going to use to, I guess, test the waters with these younger guys and see if they're going to sink or swim. I think Ace Bailey might end up being their best player. To be honest, he looked really good in summer league. He looks like he doesn't look like the moment is too big for him. So I think he's gonna have a really good season. We might talk about him when we get to Rookie of the Year, but yeah, I think the Jazz just their biggest question is, do we want to be 15th or 14th in the Western Conference this season?
That's sad but true. All right, next we're gonna go ahead and kick it over to the Pelicans. I'm gonna start with Ron Dog for this one. What's the question you got for the Pelicans going into the season?
Can the teams move with Jordan Poole, and will Zion be able to play?
That last one's definitely the $1 million question.
Exactly.
Yeah, mine was very similar as well. Because this roster is injury prone. Obviously, Zion's a big part of that. But I think there's a graphic out there where they said that Zion plays 30-something games, then 60-something games, and 30-something, and 60-something. So I think this is the next. If we're going by that track record, this season should be a season where he plays more games than he misses. So we'll see. So can he take this team to, in my opinion, the play-in? I don't think he can, but with the addition of Jordan Poole and them getting a little younger, offloading CJ McCollum, they drafted Fears and Weaves. What's really the direction that they're going in, and what are they going to do? Is Zion going to be enough to take this roster to at least the play-in? And I don't think they will. But You got anything to add, CW?
Probably the biggest question is how much can they get for Zion this year, because this will be Zion's last year with the Pelican jersey on. So how much can they get for a bust like Zion? So that's my question.
Hold on. Pause. Okay, hold up. One, you believe they're going to trade Zion this season for what?
That's my
Two,
question.
I don't see them. I don't see them trading Zion. There is no future. Like, I get it. So far, it looks like it hasn't worked because it hasn't, because he's been injury prone. But you could ask the same questions: who the heck would trade for him? Because he is a very good player, but he's never on the court. He's making, way too much money to then, offload your roster for an injury prone player. So
I
think
mean,
it's tough.
the key is that yes, he's injury prone, but he's still semi-young. There's a team that can motivate Zion. It's just not the New Orleans Pelicans, and he'll probably look at a bigger market team that may want his services. They might be willing to pay for the here and now, but I think there's a team out there that can get Zion on the right path. It's not New Orleans, and they know that, and they're not going to spend that much more money on him. So instead of just letting him walk, they need to kind of see what they can get for him and see if they can get some good draft picks or draft capital, something like that. But if not, I still think they're going to look into getting rid of him as soon as they can for whatever they can. And there's a team out there for him. What's going on, autism?
So, yeah, and we can touch on that at a later date. We got the Spurs coming up next. Y'all are my resident Spurs fans.
Spurs way low like this. Hold on.
Because
this is disrespect.
Because they finished, was it 13th? I think 13th in the Western Conference last year. So they were at the bottom tier. I said I'm going in reverse order, so I'm starting with the bottom of the West, and that's where the Spurs fell. I'm not predicting that they'll be that low next season, but this is where they were for the video. So anyway, that being said, Ron Dog, what is your one question for the Spurs going into the 25-26 season?
Is how far will they make it in the playoffs?
They got to make the playoffs first. What you mean?
They are going to make it.
I don't know if they're a lock for the playoffs, but
they are for me.
You guys, they're going it. All right, CW, what you got? Because I can't even.
I mean, it's a lock for the playoffs. That's not even a question. But my question is, will what Wemby's doing this offseason, will it equate to a solid inside game? Because if he gets that this season, or if they kind of tried it last year, it didn't work. They had him on the perimeter. He was a solid shooter. He got, that was his main thing back then. But if they can get him inside, working with KG, working with the Buddhist monks or whatever they were, wherever he was, if he could just get in there and do that, I think that the Spurs, no doubt, will be a playoff team and will probably be at least second round Western Conference team. So my question is, can Wemby take that leap, and can they really, progress him to a solid inside post-up guy?
There's some big questions from y'all, especially assuming they'd make the playoffs.
Easy.
Y'all, you say easily. I don't know. That's a bit much for me, but I do agree. Wemby taking that next step, I definitely can see it. Although I don't know about that inside game quite yet. I think it's still part of that development. I feel like he shot a higher volume of threes this past season just to get the reps up, because he shot a respectable clip from beyond the arc. But obviously, no one thinks he's going to just be like Porzingis and just kind of just live out there. He's got a game where he can put the ball on the floor, he could take 2 steps from the 3-point line and be at the rim. So, yeah, I'm not concerned about that. I definitely think he will take that next step. But my question is more of, how aggressive are they going to be at the deadline? They have these loads of assets, tons of young players who have with tremendous upside. And if they're serious about a postseason run, like you both believe that they will be, I think they should look to be aggressive this during the deadline and try to unload some of their assets to make this team a little bit more win now. So that being said, let's go to another team who King Speech himself has very high, the Trailblazers. What do you got for me, CW?
Can they put it together? I somewhat agree with King Speech that they are like a sleeper team that could really be hit, but they can also be missing something. And who they have was it Shannon Shador what
It's like Sharp, I think.
Shador Sharp.
Shaden
Sharp. Okay, Shaden Sharp. My bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's solid. They have I thought it was smart to get rid of Ayton, and I'm not sure what they're going to do with Drew Holiday, but they're a scrappy team, and I think I'm not as high on them as King Speech. I think they'll finish right outside the playoffs, but I think teams will kind of take notice to what they are. So my question is, can they take that leap? Can they, with the young core, with some solid pieces, can they at least get into the threat of a playoff team? I think they can, but I don't think they'll be able to get into the Western Conference playoffs this year. I just think it's going to be too tough. There's too many great teams, and they're just going to fall short. But I ask it, can they make that move?
Before I go to Ron, let me ask you. I'll ask you both this: if Dame was healthy this season, because we know he's not going to be playing any next season, if they had a healthy Dame, is he enough with this roster currently constructed enough to make the playoffs in the West?
No.
So you guys do. So both you guys feel that with Dame right now, if they had him for this season fully healthy, y'all both say they don't make the playoffs.
Not at all.
No, because he's going to want to be Portland Dame from a couple years ago, which he's not. So
okay. All right, Ron Dog, what you got for me?
Will they be able to get at least 30 wins?
Hold on, let me look at the record last year. I thought what was their record last year? I don't think they were like that.
But they lost their best player this year to Boston.
Are you talking about what's his face? Simon?
Yes.
Because they won 36 games last year. So I think in most people's eyes, they improved. Especially getting off of Ayton's contract, considering his motor was a little inconsistent. And you're getting some veteran leadership from a Drew Holiday. I don't know if Drew Holiday is going to stay the entire season or if he plays good and then moves off at the deadline, maybe to a team like Dallas Mavericks. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. But yeah, I mean, we'll see how the season goes for them. But I think they have improved. Where I think if we're looking at the standings from this season, I think they could be above a team like the Phoenix Suns and be maybe in that 11th range, but probably not much higher than that. So speaking of the Suns, let's go ahead and go into the Suns. So for me, this one is kind of a tough one for the Suns because, obviously they got rid of Kevin Durant and, got, Dylan Brooks, Jalen Green. For me personally, I just really want to know who's going to be their starting center because you drafted Malawak, you got Mark Williams, and you got Nick Richards. I think Nick Richards, he played okay for them, but I definitely think they wanted an upgrade at the center position. So it's like you have Mark Williams, who's injury prone, and Malawak, who's a rookie. and you're still trying to make some noise in the Western Conference with a Booker, kind of more of an unlocked version of Booker that we haven't had in a couple seasons. So I expect him to ball. But you got Jalen Green, who's like a combo guard, Dylan Brooks, one of the best perimeter defenders in the game. So it's like, what are you going to do? Like, are you going to have a rookie as your starting center? Are you going to trust Mark Williams to stay healthy and give you good minutes at the 5? I just want to know who's starting at the center position and kind of where this team goes from there. But so Ron Dog, what do you got for the Suns?
I'm looking to see if they can get more of a team game going this season instead of two people just trying to ISO the whole game.
Do you feel that this team is enough to make the playoffs?
It depends. It really depends because like they was close last year, but they got two big players that each want their share of the ball, and then they both want to shoot a lot of shots. It just depends on if this year, if D-Book with his new team can get them rolling early.
So do you believe that they're better than the Jazz?
Yes.
Pelicans?
Yeah.
Do you have them better than the Spurs?
I'd have to see the first couple games against each other because right now I think the Spurs are a little better put together than they are.
All right. Blazers?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll leave that list there for now. We haven't talked about the rest of the teams, but okay. So they're fringe playing right now, meaning that they finished 11th last year, but they had KD and Beal. You lose those guys, you get Green, you get Brooks, you get a little bit more of a defensive identity, a little bit more pieces that fit together. But I think Green and Booker is definitely an interesting pair. But I also think Green at his best can get downhill and do some things that some of the like a Bradley Beal isn't really good at doing in terms of like putting pressure at the rim and those kinds of things. Even though Jalen Green isn't the best, he's definitely better at giving them kind of a new dimension in that aspect on the perimeter. So, all right, C-Dub, let me see what you got for the Mavs. The Mavs that you've been sleeping on. Every time I talk about them, you and Ron Dog say that the Spurs are better than. So, please give me your question for the Dallas Mavericks. I need to hear this.
My question is, how much usage will you be giving Cooper Flag? Are they going to go all in, or are they going to pace themselves on how much they are going to rely on his playmaking and his game to further their, hopefully, conquest to a respectable playoff run? So, yeah, that's my – I just want to see how much they actually use Cooper Flag this season, and if he's, I'm sure he's a cornerstone, but how much do they actually trust him to be their cornerstone from day one?
I mean, yeah, you got AD there. D'Lo likes to have the ball in his hands as well, and it's like I feel like if Kyrie was there, I think that makes things a little bit more tricky, but it's the fact that you only have kind of D'Lo as like one of like the main like creators on the team currently. So I think Coop's definitely going to get more usage. I mean, obviously you still have to dump the ball to AD and let him work, but AD can also kind of play off of a playmaker, and if you bring Cooper Flag into that playmaking kind of role and just have D'Lo as like a spot up, along with like Clay or whoever else you want to put out there, Najee Marshall. I think Coop's definitely going to get a decent amount of reps in the playmaking department, especially considering it's Jason Kidd. So what do you got, Ron?
So my question is Paper Mache Davis actually going to be able to stick through a season and not be hurt?
Oh man, I wouldn't say it's a bad question because it's fair because it's Anthony Davis we're talking about. But I mean, come on, man, That's a low blow, man. That's a low blow, man.
And then also, is D'Lo going to be able to hold down the rings until Irvin's healthy?
I think D'Lo can do a serviceable job as your playmaker. I think offensively, I think he's going to be a little inconsistent. He's always been very inconsistent in that role. But you have a very good defense around him, which I think this is probably the best defense that's been around him since it might be the best defense he's ever been around, if I'm going to be honest.
So basically what you're telling me is that year the Lakers went to the conference finals. They didn't have a good defense around them.
They had a good defense, but I think the Mavericks' ceiling on defense is higher than that Lakers team that went to the conference finals.
I just can't believe that you're defending someone that I've heard you for years talk so bad about.
I didn't say he was going to be a game changer for them. You asked me if he could hold the reins down for the Mavs until Kyrie gets back, which I think he's capable of doing. They're not asking him to give him 30 and 15, like maybe like 16 on solid efficiency, probably 7, 8 assists, maybe somewhere in that range, 16 and 7. I think that's very doable for him, considering he's going to get a lot of the point guard minutes until Kyrie gets back. I don't think he's a bum. I've called him a bum before, but
I've heard you call him a bum. I was about to say.
I've had a lot of D'Lo slander on this channel, but he is what he is. So what I would expect from him in this role on this team, I think he can do that. So, hey, anyway.
I mean, I mean, you're right, because usually once players leave LeBron, they do better.
No, heck, here you go. I'm not even gonna give that top of my day.
Facts.
Whatever. Let's move over to the Sacramento Kings. So I guess I'll start this one. I just want to know, when are they going to blow this up? Your trio is basically essentially what they had in Chicago a few seasons ago, where you had LaVine, DeRozan, and now this is Sabonis, but it was Vucevic back in Chicago. So, I mean, Sabonis, I think, is an upgrade from Vucevic, but this nucleus is just not conducive for winning in the Western Conference. Just not talented enough. This team doesn't shoot the ball well enough, in my opinion, and they're not, they're not good on defense. They have some good pieces on defense, like Keon Ellis. I think he's a hound on defense, but him alone isn't going to be enough. So I just want to know when they're going to blow this up, because they're not getting better anytime soon, and at best they are a play-in team. So what do you got, Ron Dog?
The thing is, but yeah, no, really, will they be a better defensive team? Because they definitely need to, since, like you said, they're not very consistent offensively. They need to make that up with being able to get stops to lead to transition to get easy buckets. So will they be a better defensive team than they've been in the past? That is my question.
Okay. My answer is no. But CW, what do you got?
I can see that, yeah.
My question is, are they happy with mediocrity? Because that's where they'll stay if they keep this core, as you said, together. So they have to ask themselves, do we want to be a fringe playoff team that will probably get trounced by most first, second, third, fourth place teams in the West? Or do we want to actually try to seriously contend and build a future? And I think that's where they have to look, because, like you said, them trying to reinvent the Chicago Bulls from a couple years ago with the Sabonis isn't going to work, because it didn't work in Chicago. It's not going to work here. They definitely have to shore up their defense, like Ron said. So they've got a lot of things they need to ask themselves. And if I'm them, I maybe look at LaVine's contract's probably not going to be able to get traded, but I look at DeRozan. If a team that's right there on the cusp of being a contender for a championship, if they're out there, we ship him off. You know, he can be that key piece. And I hate to say it, but I think Sabonis is you could get rid of Sabonis. I think he served his time there well, and it might be time for him to get free to help another team and maybe actually get to be on a contender and find out how it feels to actually be a top NBA team. So I think, like I said, they have to ask themselves what they're going to do with this team and how quickly they're going to get rid of these guys that are just eating up contract space.
All right, I got a follow-up question for both of y'all then. All right, so let's assume the Sacramento Kings blow this up, right? If you are the Kings and if you are the Lakers, Sabonis for Reeves, do you make that trade?
Probably not.
I mean, is Reeves a player you would build around or build with? That's the question, because I mean, you could do that, but that's if you have something. If there's a draft pick or something that is very enticing to them, I don't even know what they have as far as draft picks or draft capital. But if there's something like that where he's expendable in that realm, I would say go for it and do that. But other than that, no, I wouldn't do that, because I think they can get more for Sabonis in reality, because he is a solid big that a lot of teams will need once they enter into playoff time.
Okay.
If they did Ayton for Sabonis, yes, absolutely do that.
Yeah, if they did Ayton for Sabonis, I think Sacramento needs to get drug tested. The entire team, management, front office, they would need a drug
love it. The Lakers would love that trade.
Yeah, the Lakers would, but the Kings, they'd be getting diminished returns because I don't think the Lakers have much draft capital to even throw in. I thought Reeves could be a little bit better because he's younger, got more upside, and we've seen him at least enough in a sample size that I think that it would be justifiable if you were rebuilding, because he's young. But regardless,
are we sleeping on Dallas? I don't think so.
Yeah, they're definitely sleeping on Dallas like crazy. Absolutely. But we'll keep moving from there.
There are key factors.
We'll go ahead and switch over to the Memphis Grizzlies. Now, I'm going to ask you guys this question because I want you guys to help me out here. Now, do you guys believe that Ja Morant and Jaren Jackson Jr. is enough to contend in the Western Conference?
No.
Absolutely not.
And why do you both feel that way?
Did you not see what happened during the playoffs first round?
Yeah, they ran into the Thunder and got absolutely demolished. But hey, that's the Thunder though. Like,
they can't play against the top better teams in the West. They can't. Not with the way the roster is right now. They can't do it. Because Ja is not a willing shooter. He literally only wants to go towards the rim. And for him to be their star player, their franchise guy, he needs to be able to do a lot more to get his guys active and get them open. And I just believe with his track record that he's had the last couple seasons, that's not going to happen this season at all.
You know what? I think they should have looked at Damian Lillard to pair with Ja Morant, because I think that them two would actually work well together. I think Ja Morant needs somebody to kind of lead him to where he could be a great, because we've seen glimpses, but he's just not ready to do that. And if Jaren Jackson Jr. is your second best player on the team, you might make it to the playoffs, but you're going to be visiting Cancun fairly soon. So I think they need a number one guy. I don't think Ja Morant is a true number one option. I just don't. I just don't see. I thought he would do that at some point, but he's not. Quickly, if you guys enjoy HelloFresh or you want some free HelloFresh, please check out the link in the description or in the chat box, and put the code to get some free meals on us. And yeah, so check that out to help the channel out. We would appreciate that very much.
Absolutely. Yeah, HelloFresh is good for y'all. By the way, it's a good. And if you got a weight problem, can't wait to eat, there's another place that'll give you some good food and bring it right to your doorstep. So definitely check out that code, please. But anyway, so the next one we're gonna go ahead and go to the Warriors. And I'll go ahead and start this one with Ron Dog. What you got for the Warriors?
Well, they freaking need Jimmy to step up. Well, really, they actually just need someone. They need to bring in someone that can help Steph out because, Steph can beat most teams himself, but once it gets into the playoffs like this year, without Steph Curry, they couldn't do nothing. It was bad.
So you feel as how they are right now, you feel the biggest question mark for them hasn't really been filled after, because when they acquired Jimmy Butler, a lot of people were saying like this was the missing piece. You got Steph, another guy, and they looked very promising against the Rockets.
Yeah.
Then he goes down against the Wolves, and we know the rest. But do you feel if Steph was healthy, they would have done more and even challenged OKC since obviously he was hurt against the Wolves?
Well, I think if he was healthy against the Wolves, I think it would have went to 6 or 7 games.
Would you have still picked the Wolves or the Warriors to win if Steph was healthy?
I think I would have picked the Warriors because with the way that Draymond helps him get open off the ball, Steph Curry's just the best at moving off the ball right now. It's unmatched.
Okay. What about you, CW? What do you got for the Warriors?
My question is, I was about to pull a Charles Barkley instead of a question, say a statement, but I'm going to remember what I'm supposed to do. And what are you doing with Jonathan Kuminga? I mean, you're letting a young, solid player just kind of sit there. Are you going to let him go? Are you going to re-sign him? What are you going to do? And why do you have such a hard time figuring out what to do with him? You're a team that can run, y'all don't have to slow the pace down way too much. You got a quick, fast player who can put up buckets and play against these younger teams like these OKC Thunder players, these Houston players. And I'm assuming if Denver's what we think they are against Denver, so why are you just kind of dragging him along? If you want something for him, sign and trade him. If you want him, sign him. I don't understand why they're having such a hard time putting Jonathan Kuminga in a role for either their team or a role to get them something that they want or need. But they're stringing him along, and he's a solid player, but you're wasting some of his development time because you're just not knowing what to do with him. So they need to get that straight.
Yeah, I think it's a very big disconnect between just Steve Kerr and Kuminga, like his role. I've caught him in a few times of where he had, a decent look at a shot, but wants to put the ball on the floor because that's what he's good at, to be fair.
Mm-hmm.
But he can still shoot the three. So yeah, it's definitely one of those weird things because it's like I've heard it was about like they couldn't get together on a price point because I feel like he wants more money than what they're willing to give him. And then when it goes, because like I know like two teams that are interested in him are like the Kings and the Suns, but I think the Warriors want like more draft capital that than those two other teams were willing to offer. So they were willing to dish him out, but they weren't liking what they were hearing. So they were like, we'll just hold on to him and we'll kind of just keep negotiating. So they're still at a stalemate as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, it's definitely a big question mark because if they can flip him for some pieces like a Malik Monk or whoever else they can get from the Suns, like maybe a Royce O'Neal or something, I think that could definitely help them.
Absolutely. If he's not in your future, create a future from what you can do with him. So that's how I feel.
Right. So next, we're going to go to a team that, made me have to kind of eat my words a little bit. Timberwolves. Mr. Julius Randle did his thing this last postseason. So, one question I have for them is more like, kind of, can they continue to ride this success? Going to the conference finals, the last two postseason runs, where they've lost Walker. It's more like what can they do with that point guard position because Mike Conley's getting older by the day. You lose Walker, and I don't think Rob Dillingham is ready yet to take in that backup point guard responsibilities or even the lead point guard responsibilities because Ant-Man needs a point guard. I think everybody has seen enough in the postseason to even if that point guard isn't like a lead ball handler, he just needs a secondary ball handler who's capable of hitting perimeter shots and doing some degree of playmaking as well on their part. And I don't think Rob Dillingham is that yet. He could be, but that's their biggest hole right now, in my opinion, is point guard play. And if they can't address that, will they be able to continue to ride that wave from Randall and Ant-Man to continue going even maybe to the conference finals or even get to the finals next year? So if they address the point guard situation, I think that gives them a better shot, but I digress. CW, what you got for me?
I think that they just need to I don't know if they need to ask if there's one question they need to ask. They just need to really embrace their identity. They're a good team. They've been to the conference finals twice. But both times they fell short. Ant-Man just needs to say, you know what, this is my team, and I'm gonna take this to the next level. He's been doing it, but it's just like the conference finals is his ceiling right now. He's got to get that Jordan in him. He's got to get that LeBron, whoever else. He's got to get that in him to say, you know what, I'm tired of getting beat in the conference finals, so I've got to step it up, and I've got to be the man, and I've got to show the world that I am one of these top 5-10 players that they've said I am. And they've compared me to Jordan. I've got to show you guys that I am that guy. So I think Anthony Edwards needs to ask himself, am I going to take that leap to the next level? Because I've had plenty of opportunities with a team that fits well around him. I think, we questioned it last year, but when it came to playoff time, they played well. I thought they played really good. So he's got the pieces. He's just got to step up. He's their number one guy. So it's on him now. As long as Julius Randle does what he can do, Rudy plays the defense he can play. Like I said, Conley's a little old, but he can still contribute. But Ant-Man's got to take that next step. So it's now or never. I'll say, I won't say now or never, but I think if he wants to be in that MVP race, if he wants to be that guy that I think media wants him to be, it's got to be this year.
Okay. Let's go into the Clippers. Ron Dog, your man, Mr. Kawhi Leonard, and this old Clippers roster. What's one question you got for the Clippers?
Will the unks of the Western Conference be able to still give the same playoff push that they did a season ago?
What playoff push? Getting beat in the first round?
That was a good team, though.
But what's this playoff push you're talking about? I'm a little confused. You have to enlighten me real quick.
I think they're going to get to the conference finals this next year. They have the experience to do it.
Conference finals.
Yeah.
So
If they
that
can
means-
do it, if they can do it with playoff P, they can do it with the squad they got.
That means they're gonna have to go through one of the Thunder or the Nuggets or the
Mhm.
Rockets.
Yeah.
They gotta
Yeah.
go through one of those teams to get there.
I think we'd rather go through the Rockets.
You're picking them to beat the Rockets that they played in a 7-game series right now?
I would rather than play the Rockets, yes.
With game 7 Harden on your team? You come
Yeah.
on now. Really?
Yes.
Sorry, let me fix that. Okay. What gives you so much confidence in this roster when we just literally saw them just kind of, especially Harden? If you take him off and replace him with some, maybe, sure, in a 7-game series, but Harden has never played good in game 7. So why would you
Correct.
believe that? Why would you believe that they would beat one of these juggernauts in the West, especially if it goes to a 7th game with Harden
I
on the
wouldn't-
rock?
You can't really call Houston a juggernaut. They lost to Steph Curry.
I'm talking about this version, this
This
Rockets
version?
team right now that just added Kevin Durant,
Because
Dorian
they don't.
Finney-Smith.
Well, yeah, because they also lost Dylan Brooks, who was one of their best defenders. So
Dorian
now,
Finney-Smith. You replaced
so
him with Dorian Finney-Smith.
so you want him on Kawhi, right? You think
Yeah.
that he's gonna slow down Kawhi that much? Yeah, no, you're smoking crack already.
He doesn't have to hold him to 10 points. He just has to make him work because we saw in the postseason where Kawhi Leonard,
Barbecue
he looked
chicken
very
on-
mortal. He was honestly an average Kawhi Leonard outside of, what was it, game 2, where he just went bonkers.
That's because his teammates were missing. Did you not see what Norman Powell was shooting and bricking? Wide open shots, missing.
Listen. That
I
that
have
series,
no,
we're
I
not
have
blaming
no
Norman Powell for that
excuse
series.
for James Harden. James Harden is one of the key reasons they lost that series. But we cannot just the fact that Norman Powell was not hitting the open shots that he was hitting all year.
So you think Norman Powell was the reason?
No.
y'all lost?
He's one of the reasons. It's not the main reason, but he's one of them.
Shout out to Iron Man.
So you feel? Let's just put this on record. You got the Clippers going to the Western Conference Finals, and you have them beating. You saying they can beat the Rockets? Do you have them beating the Nuggets?
It just depends.
That ain't no just
I
depends.
I
Yes
can't
or
predict
no?
the future.
If someone had you right now, are you taking this Clippers over the Denver Nuggets?
I am a betting man, so yeah.
Ooh.
Why not?
No.
We just have to wait to see. We gotta wait and see.
No. What? No, man. I'm not believing this. You're smarter than this. You with a straight face
We
really
gotta
just
wait
said
and
the
see.
Clippers
We gotta wait
would
and
beat
see.
Denver Nuggets.
We just gotta wait and see.
Are they beating the Thunder?
No.
Okay, I was about to say I thought you still lost your mind, but
They
I
will.
thought you
They
completely
can if they do one thing.
pray to God.
Stop for the
That too,
SGA.
but that brings me to what I was going to say. The Clippers need to do one thing. They need to sit down, watch the 2011 Dallas Mavericks, see how a aging but veteran team can put it all together. And I think they will be okay. I think they will be okay this season. Not okay as in that's their ceiling or that's where they are. I think they are a great team and can be a stellar team if they can just realize what they have, how they can use it, and they move like that. It's going to be tough. Now, if they were in the East, I'd say they had a phenomenal chance to make it to the finals and even win. But since they're in the West, it's going to take a little bit of a little bit of luck. But I think if any team can go out win a championship with the roster they have right now, they don't have to make any trades, they don't have to do anything extra. They just need to look at that 2011 team. You talk about James Harden, Jason Kidd. He was a great player, great point guard, but never got the big win until he fit into a new system, and he just fit into a certain role. It's time for James Harden to do that. I think Kawhi has enough in the tank. I'm sure you'll disagree, but I think he has enough in the tank to be 2011 Dirk and put this team on his back one more time. Put a team on his back one more time, not the Clippers. He didn't do that with the Clippers yet, but he's going to put the Clippers on his back. He is one of the most unstoppable players when he is healthy. And I don't think
he wasn't healthy this postseason.
He was mostly healthy, but
so why didn't he do exactly what you just said with a very good roster on his team against the Nuggets?
He can't do it alone.
Yeah, I mean, I trust Bradley Beal a little more than I do Norman Powell. I'm gonna say that. I trust playoff Beal, Bradley Beal, to be better than Norman Powell.
Where have we seen Bradley Beal just be this otherworldly difference maker in the postseason?
We haven't, but this is the season he could do that.
So how can you say this? How can you sit up here and say Kawhi Leonard is going to turn back the clock when we only saw him do it one game this postseason?
Because
not a series.
Because he's going to be steadily healthy. So he's going to.
You can't even say that with a straight face.
I can say it with a straight face.
For a postseason run, especially if you got them going deep in the postseason, you got Kawhi being consistently healthy throughout that postseason.
I have him being healthy throughout this season and throughout this postseason, and I think he can be that X factor that wins the Los Angeles Clippers their first NBA championship. He is that good, and he can still be that good. He can still be that good.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug. Because
if we could put faith in a 40-year LeBron James.
Who's putting faith in LeBron? I'm not picking him to do anything this season. We ain't got to the Lakers yet.
Well, we're going to get to Lakers, but a lot of people put a lot of stock into LeBron James at 40, 41 years old.
Because
what?
I said to do what? Nobody's saying LeBron's going to be all world and they're going to go win the chip.
Last year they did.
I mean,
who?
I mean, sports talk. I mean, sports talk, my man. But he said that there was no way LeBron James and Luka Doncic would lose because of their basketball IQ and minds. They lost. They lost in pretty.
They didn't have a center. It ain't like they just got absolutely destroyed. Like, yeah, they got half a season together. They had no rim protection.
I know we're skipping to the Lakers, but
you want to go past the Nuggets?
But the Clippers. The point of what I was saying is the Clippers are equipped to go far and can. It's just a matter of can they just turn back the clock for one season, put all that veteran
for a series, yes. For an entire season and a postseason, no chance.
You have basketball
right off his body.
You have basketball IQ off the charts on that floor. You just have to have the health and the guys able to go. And I think they'll do it. I think they will do it this season. Even though it pains me a little bit because I want my Nuggets and my Spurs to do well, but I think
I think Nigel forgot about the Chris Paul effect.
No. Hold on. Because let's just before I get into the Nuggets, there's no way in this green earth y'all are beating the Nuggets. Like they got better. Like the reason why the Clippers got so close in that series was because some of them players on Denver were unplayable.
But
Now-
Zubac can play. Zubac showed he can play. What's his name? Jokic.
Yes,
Yeah.
he showed that he can play him, and I have no argument against that.
So who on the Denver Nuggets, if, and this is a big if, I understand it's a big if, but if Kawhi Leonard plays like Kawhi Leonard can play,
We haven't seen
Who
that. Though.
is-
You can't say that. You can't say that because we
We've-
haven't
we've
seen it for
seen
an
it.
entire postseason.
we saw it some last year in the
In the
regular season. Of
postseason?
course, we didn't see it in the postseason, but
But that's my thing. You're saying he's going to show up in the postseason.
okay, he had a bad
We
postseason.
just saw it.
So are we going to
series.
crucify Luka for having a bad first round and say Luka he's done, he's finished because we haven't seen him play well? We didn't see him
He
play
got
well. last
traded
year.
mid-season, and he was
Oh,
hurt.
Luka's like a top 3 or 4 player in the league.
Yes, but he got traded mid-season. You got a whole new team. No one's going to hold that against Luka down his career when he got bounced in the first round, especially when you didn't play a center. You had freaking LeBron and Rui and Finney Smith switching off at center for crying out loud.
Jackson
Like,
Hayes out there, but you don't play him.
they played him for like
Yeah.
5 minutes and then sat him down. But anyway, I just don't see a scenario where Denver loses to them, the Thunder. Now, the Rockets, maybe under the right circumstances, they could beat the Rockets. But the
Okay,
other
well-
two teams, they got no chance.
My question is, what don't the Clippers have that keeps them from being able to beat those teams? What don't they have?
Health, age, attrition.
You can't say
Good news.
say people are going to get hurt. You can't just predict that they're going to get hurt.
Yeah, that's literally why the Clippers have failed so many seasons because they literally
All
just
right, we're
never
gonna move on.
been healthy. And you got James Harden on your team.
Okay.
You're not winning a game 7 with Harden. You're not. You're literally playing 6v4 every time down when he's on the floor.
All right. Well, we will see for next season. But I think I'm gonna. I know this was one question for him. I didn't even ask a question, but I think the Clippers are well equipped to be a championship team in 2026.
Yeah, maybe maybe like 5 years ago. Maybe then, but anyway,
2026.
the whole world would have to be on their side for them to win that. But anyway,
It
all
can
right.
happen.
Let's go quickly through the rest of them. For the Nuggets, a team that this man just said that the Clippers could beat, whatever. My question was, are the new additions enough? Are they enough to, usurp the Oklahoma City Thunder? Because I think that's the only team standing in their way, fully healthy. I know Valanciunas, you got a backup big that you didn't have before. They're playing freaking DeAndre Jordan playoff minutes for crying out loud. You got Cam Johnson, who, in my opinion, is an upgrade over Michael Porter Jr., especially as a fender, secondary. Not secondary. He can do some playmaking more than I think Michael Porter Jr. can do. I think Michael Porter Jr. is a better rebounder, but I think that's where it stops. I think shooting, I got Cam Johnson, and I got defense for Cam Johnson. So putting him in those shots, in those spaces, in those moments with Jokic, I like my chances. And of course, we got Bruce Brown, who can do a lot of things that Russ was doing last year in the postseason, but I think on a more consistent level. So, yeah, are those new additions going to be enough to take out a team like OKC Thunder to get them back to the finals?
All right. So for the Nuggets, I say I'm kind of with you with that. It's enough. Will Nikola Jokic be hyper focused like he seemed this season? I mean, he was one of the he had one of the greatest seasons ever. Didn't get the MVP for whatever reason, but can he match that? And I'm waiting to see. He got some say he got his coach fired. He's got what he needed is some much needed help down low. Got rid of MJP, which was, he was kind of holding them back. Got Bruce Brown back. I think, my question is, will Jokic be as motivated this season as he seemed like he was last year? And I'm not sure. I want to see it because I'm a Jokic guy, but I don't know because last year he just seemed like a beast, and it's hard to match that. You know, when you put that much effort into your game to come back and have to do that all again. So that's my question.
My
All right.
question is Murray gonna give a bigger chance this year for him to do better? Because if Jamal Murray was the scorer he was back during the championship run, I think that they wouldn't have beat Oklahoma, but I think it would have gave him a better chance to at least try. Because Murray didn't really do nothing. Really.
Okay, I wouldn't say he did nothing. I definitely think he showed up. I mean, God forbid Jokic played horribly and they still won. So I wouldn't say, and I'm not saying he played horribly the whole series, but there was a game where he played bad. I can't remember if it was I don't know if it was game 3 or 4. But there was one game in that series where he played absolutely terrible, like shot 0 for 10 from 3, like I think 7-8 turnovers. Like he didn't play good at all, and they still won. And that's with that supporting cast compared to the supporting cast he has now. I think it's going to be a lot better for them. But yeah,
I just think if he sees Jokic struggling, he needs to be the guy in that situation for him to take control of the ball and help him get his shots.
I think it'll be easier when you have a better floor spacer on the court instead of Michael Porter Jr., who's basically a liability on one end of the floor, wildly inconsistent. And then you got Russell Westbrook on the floor with you. You know, that has its struggles as well, considering not much of a floor spacer. And, you know, he's prone to take some pretty bonehead shots here and there. So I think when you have a team of players around you that you want to play with and can do good things for you, I think that's going to make the difference, especially for a guy like Jamal Murray to help him get easier shots. So let's go ahead and pivot over to the Lakers real quick, because I know CW's got this one question for them. So I'm gonna open the floor up to CW for the Lakers, since you had to bring them up during the Clippers conversation. What do you got for the Lakers, CW?
Come back to me. Matter of fact.
Well, here. I got one. Is Ayton the center the Lakers have been needing to push to that next level?
That is interesting. That is a good question. Hopefully we get the answer to it. Huh?
Yeah, because if he plays good, the Lakers could make it. Maybe. It just depends.
I think he'll be good. I don't know if he's the center we've been waiting for per se, and I won't say we like I'm a Lakers fan because I'm not. But he's definitely an upgrade at that position for sure. So, you know, we'll see. I definitely think he's going to be a pretty good lob target for Luka. That he didn't really have that consistently this season. I mean, he had Jackson Hayes, of course, and he's solid. But I think Ayton's offensive game's a little bit more polished than Jackson Hayes, considering he's only kind of just a rim roller. But for me, it's more of, you know, I don't think LeBron's retiring this year, but with him, you know, not getting an extension and playing for the first time, I think in his career, where he's playing the final season of his contract since probably his early days in Cleveland. You know, is LeBron going to leave at the end of the year? Is he going to potentially just announce he's retiring at the end of the year? Which I don't think the NBA would let him do that, considering they're going to market that to the nth degree. So, what's up with LeBron's contract situation? Is he going to go somewhere else to end his career? Is he going to retire on a cheaper deal? Who knows? But that's my question for the Lakers going into the season, because that is a pretty big one, considering he opted into that $50 million and probably handicapped the Lakers to some degree to make more moves for a chance to compete. So let's go ahead and do the Rockets real quick. For me,
well, my question for the Lakers real quick.
Oh, yeah, my fault. Yeah. Go ahead,
how will the buyout market treat LeBron James?
What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
That's the question. So take it however you want. But how will the buyout market treat the GOAT himself, LeBron James?
I think
So
no one.
you think they're gonna buy him out?
I think that's a very good possibility. Now, would I bet money on it? I don't know, but I think it is a big, big possibility.
Chuck
Why?
see
Said why?
CW must have his 8 ball there asking questions.
Why do I
though?
think they would potentially buy him out?
Yeah.
Because he wants to be bought out. I think he would want to be bought out because he doesn't want to hamper. I mean, it's only a 1-year deal, and it comes off the books after. But why not get bought out by the Lakers and sign to a smaller deal for a team that can use you and won't have to just about gut their team to bring you in. So if you want to come back home to Cleveland, why not let them buy you out and sign for the minimum and be a key piece to a potential championship team in Cleveland one more time?
Why would you want to play with Donovan Mitchell and the Cavs over Luka and the rest of the Lakers? I don't know. That to me doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I see where you're going with this question because there probably could be a scenario where he maybe would
You're not
ask
winning a
out.
championship in the West. You're not. So you put
But you're
yourself
still
at you have a better advantage out east than you do out west.
But you're still gonna have to play the Thunder, the Nuggets, whoever out.
Well, you rather
in the finals.
wouldn't you rather play a beat up Nuggets or a beat up Thunder or beat up Houston Rockets than playing fresh, potentially having to run the gauntlet and play these teams fresh?
I'd rather play the teams in the West if I got Luka Doncic on my team.
Okay. Well,
Lukas don't grow on trees, so even if the Lakers roster maybe top to bottom isn't as good as like the Cavs,
teams don't grow on trees either. But LeBron James is better than Meth Curry.
that's crazy.
Debatable.
But okay. All right. We got 2 teams left. We got the Rockets and Thunder. Rockets really quickly. My question is, did they do enough to fix the offensive woes, more specifically in the half court? Yes, you add Kevin Durant. You also replace Dylan Brooks with Dorian Finney-Smith. And they also, I think they get Clint Capella as well from their offseason. Probably another insurance policy in case Steven Adams goes down. So, are these additions enough to fix their offensive woes? I don't know. You obviously get a really good scorer in Kevin Durant, one of the best of all time. But I still think playmaking's a big question mark for this team as well. So yeah, I'm curious to see how they do, what leaps they'll take with Amin Thompson, Tari Eason, Jabari Smith Jr., Big Şengün. I got to see it because their offense to me was the only thing that held them back in the postseason last year.
Okay.
CW.
My question is, can KD stay healthy? Since some of us want to predict health issues for other teams, I'm going to do the same for the Rockets. If KD can stay healthy, the only team that can beat them are the Clippers. If he can't, then they're a first round exit. So can he stay healthy?
You got anything to add, Ron? Because I have no more words for this foolishness. I got no words.
Can the Rockets still be a top 3 team in the West with Kevin Durant?
What? What? Can they?
Yeah, can they?
Why wouldn't they? Is my question to you.
Because Kevin Durant's gonna Kevin Durant's going to want most of the shots.
You do realize someone else is going to take some shots now that Jalen Green's gone. All the shots for Dylan Brooks. I mean, like those shots got to go somewhere.
Those guys weren't making shots. No way. And anyways, Green got booed off the court during the playoffs.
I mean, he did, but that's my thing is though you're replacing them, Jalen Green, essentially with Kevin Durant. You still got Amin Thompson, still got Steady Freddie, you got Jabari Smith Jr., you got Şengün, you got Adams, whatever combination you want to throw out there. KD is probably going to take. He's going to take a lot of shots, probably. I mean, just systematically. But I mean, hey, I think they'll be a top 3 team in the West, fully healthy. So let's go ahead and get to the Thunder. There's not a lot of questions for this team, in my opinion. So my question is just, can they repeat? Because they locked in Chet for some big money. They locked in J-Dub for some big money. Locked in Shea. They got their 3. You know, a question will be further on is how they flesh out the roster afterwards when they have to start. You know, like the Hartensteins will probably have to go somewhere else, and Caruso, they may or may not be able to afford him down the road. But at least for this season, it's just, can they repeat? Because they don't have to run into any of those problems as of right now.
All right. My question is, did they overpay to keep a solid, but I'm going to say not great championship team? And I think that's going to rear its head here very soon. We saw what a great and solid Boston Celtics team did one year, and then they followed that up by being somewhat, I wouldn't say mediocre in the playoffs, but not being the championship team that we saw a year before. I'm going to say I feel like some of some of their motivation just wasn't there in this past season. I think they were I think their motivation was put in the wrong place. I think they were trying so hard to be to show people that they were still relevant that it cost them a bid to the finals or the conference finals. I just think they should have stayed the course and been, the cool, collected team that they were, I felt, in 2024. So I think OKC might have some of that in them, because I think a lot of teams are going to doubt them. And I think that as good as they are, a lot of teams got better. And I think a lot of teams can have put things together that can combat what the OKC Thunder can do. So I think that the question is, can they put together a better motivated team, and have they overspent for some guys that they probably could have gotten something for in the long run, and really kept that team built well. But that's my 2 cents.
My
All
question
right, what you got, Ron?
So my question is OKC going to adapt to the other good Western Conference teams getting better?
Wouldn't the other teams be adapting to OKC, not the other way around? Because they just won the championship.
Well, yeah, but they also just kept their roster. They said they didn't add nothing to it. The rest of them added stuff to them. So basically, it's the same type of team the rest of the league has seen. Question is, can they still keep that same level of defense and offense up to take over the West like they did this previous year?
Okay, fair enough. All right, now we have. You go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was saying that we have the NBA season award predictions, the way too early season predictions.
Yep.
We're just gonna go through MVP, DPOY, MIP, Rookie of the Year, and Coach of the Year real quick.
Mm-hmm.
So who y'all got for MVP? Maybe y'all agree, maybe y'all don't. Who y'all got?
I got either Jokic or Shea. It's gonna
GW.
be a pointless game.
I think we've seen the pattern. One guy gets snubbed the year before, and then they win the next year. So Jokic will win this year.
So you got Jokic, and then Ron Dogg's got who?
Shea or Jokic.
Shea or Jokic. Yeah, I think Jokic has it's probably Jokic's MVP to lose, if I'm being honest. But I think my dark horse is going to be Luka Doncic. I think if the Lakers are a top, I'm gonna say top 2 seed because they were a top 3 seed last year, but they got Luka midway through the season. If Luka puts up some crazy numbers and they're a top 2 seed in the West, which is a very daunting task, I think Luka gets the MVP. So it's probably Jokic. I think we all agree it's going to be Jokic. This next one should be very easy. Everybody's probably going to say Wemby, unless they live under a rock. Don't think any of y'all would disagree since y'all are Spurs fans. Wemby for DPOY.
For the season he had last year, it's going to be a retroactive win for him.
Okay. Rookie of the year. Who y'all got?
Yep, Dylan Harper.
I want to say him, but
Dang it, Ron. What are you doing, man? God.
Ace Bailey when he gets the Jazz to the play-in.
You think the Jazz are going to get to the play? Yeah, no.
He's joking. Just like your rookie of the year is a joke. Dylan Harper,
no, it's not.
Get out of here, man.
No, it's not a joke. Him and Cooper are the two best looking rookies.
You got to play behind Fox and Castle and share the court. You still got Wemby on the court. Like, how is he going to show more than other guys who are going to have way more opportunities? Cooper Flag, way more opportunities. Ace Bailey, way more opportunities. Heck, freaking Knuppel is probably going to have more opportunities, and he plays for the lowly Hornets.
You got him. Come on,
Yeah.
man.
Hey, man, Knuppel. I'm not saying he's going to win
But
it.
the thing is,
Summer League Summer League Rookie of the Year or something.
but the thing is, they can have more opportunities, but if they play horrible with it, then that's not going to mean nothing.
If Cooper puts up 20 points per game as a rookie and they are like the 9th seed, he's still probably Rookie of the Year. They gave it to Wemby, and the Spurs were putrid.
You think that
that's why
you think
Bailey's
Cooper is going to get more attention than Anthony Davis is going to get?
Do I think Cooper's going to get as much attention as Anthony Davis?
Yes.
No, absolutely not.
Okay, well, in there.
But he's still going to put good numbers along because his life is going to be a heck of a lot easier with being in the starting position. You say what?
Edgecombe. He's with the Sixers?
Yeah, but he's playing behind Jared McCain and Tyrese Maxey. So they're not going to run 3 guards because they're all guards. So you're playing behind those two. Whereas Cooper doesn't have to play behind anybody. Ace Bailey damn sure don't got to play behind anybody. But Dylan Harper has to play behind De'Aaron Fox, who they just paid max dollars, and Stephon Castle, who literally just won Rookie of the Year last year. Am I missing something?
No, I truthfully think that Cooper, they desperately want Cooper to win it. So if he has even a slightly good season, he'll win it.
I think Nigel just likes to hate because Nigel doesn't think a small market team could get Rookie of the Year. I mean, Wemby got it, Castle got it. You really think if Dylan Harper doesn't put in the work, you think he can't get it?
He's got a very, very daunting task. I'm not saying he won't put up respectable rookie numbers, but compared to the other two who's got the green light to let it fly, I just don't see it Personally, I don't see it. Plus, the media's already in Cooper Flagg's back pocket. If he breathes the right way, he's getting at least 60% of
Six
the
man
rookie
of the
year
year.
votes.
But that,
He
but
perfect rolling.
that also means that he got a lot more pressure, and then that means he has to be able to handle that pressure. If he doesn't, he can crash and burn very easily.
So there's not a lot of pressure for him considering Kyrie's not playing for most of the season. You got AD beside you. You got good rim protection behind you. I mean, all he got to do is ball. Same thing for Ace. The only thing is they're not going to win more than probably 15 games this year because they just stink. But he's going to put up good numbers.
No one's
So, I
going to
mean,
give him rookie of the year if his team is at the bottom.
they gave it to Wemby the other year. Castle, a team that just finished
Wemby,
13th in the West.
Wemby is a generational player. Castle, he was putting up 20 points.
But they were still losing. That's my thing. You're saying they don't give it to teams that stink, but they always give rookie of the year to teams that stink. The last two rookie of the years, teams that stink.
You can think what you want to think.
We didn't stink last year, but
Yes, y'all did.
but
Y'all
if LeBron wins MVP and sixth man of the year, I will call him the GOAT because that is the greatest achievement ever. If you can win both of those awards in the same season.
We're gonna hold off on most improved, and I don't even know about coach. There's been some crazy stuff that's been said this show. My brain is completely fried. Feel free to
Hey, you can't have a fried mind with some of the stuff
y'all have
you're
blown
too.
me away.
I would say this: you're too. You gotta think outside the box sometimes. You're going with what the narrative is and what the NBA tells you should be. But
For what? For
all
rookie of
of
the
this,
year?
for a lot of stuff, some of these teams are going to be better than I think you think, and some of these teams that you think will be good are probably going to be not as good.
Are you still hung up on the Clippers? Are you really?
I am hung up on the Clippers because I think they're going to be a good.
I'm not saying they're going to be bad in the regular season. I'm saying for the postseason, if you're relying on James Harden, Kawhi Leonard, an old Chris Paul, I understand Zubac is probably a top 5 center. I got you on that one. Bradley Beal coming off your bench, replacing Norman Powell. Cool. You got him on the cheapest deal, probably of this generation. He's a King's ransom deal. Cool. What am I missing here? That I don't see them beating the Denver Nuggets.
You got guys that have been there, have led teams that know how to win. I know you're going to talk about James Harden and
what winning has any of these players done in the postseason in the last, I don't know, five or so years?
I mean, you've got to let. They might mesh well. You don't know how they're going to mesh. You're
saying might because we haven't seen, especially the Clippers. They do not get the benefit of the doubt.
I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt. I'm gonna
Chris
give it to
Paul.
This year.
Sorry, cursed. All right, and it's going to be another curse for this team when he comes back. When he's here this season, it's going to be another curse. They're just cursed. They're going to give him some more Clippers curse. You know how many injuries
when we do our predictions later on, closer to tip-off time, I'm going to do a Charles Barkley, and I'm going to guarantee the Clippers will be a championship caliber team.
If the chips fall, yeah, I mean, from what the roster.
No, this isn't pre-recorded.
From a roster standpoint, they check all the boxes. But when you actually take an actual look at this team in the postseason, you're led by your best players. I do not trust James Harden, and I do not trust Kawhi Leonard. I'm sorry, I just don't. So unless you're saying the requisite pieces around them can spell for them, I got no argument if you believe that. But I don't believe that.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, everybody has an opinion. That's just mine, but I think you're
Why are
being
y'all
slightly.
so high on the Clippers? The Clippers?
Why is
I'm
it
high
you
on. I
opposed
like
to
veteran
Lakers?
teams. I like veteran teams.
This team is the oldest team in the league. The youngest
What is
guy
that?
playing meaningful minutes is John Collins, who's 27. You're banking on 34, 35.
I mean, look at the
Brook Lopez
2014
is
San
37.
Antonio Spurs. The 2014 Spurs were old as dirt, and they stomped the Miami Heat.
They stomped
Stomped them into the ground. They
One
stomped
leg
all the
D-Wade
Western
and
Conference, so they were old.
Chris Paul's 40. Like, dude, what are we talking about? This team is old.
LeBron's
man.
over 40, so what are we talking about again?
I just don't understand how you guys have
We
so
will
much
see.
faith
We'll
in the
see. We'll see.
Clippers. Because they haven't done anything to warrant any faith. You got Chris Paul and freaking Bradley Beal. Congratulations, man. Y'all
John
still
Collins
aren't
as
doing
well.
anything.
Yeah, John Collins as well.
I mean, I agree with some of the people
John
in
Collins is
the
cool. He don't
in the
even fit
chat.
with Zubac. He don't even fit with him. Good. Look, Ty Lue is going to be. He's got one heck of a job on his hands because I don't see how you play them both together.
All right, casual. I do believe. I was just using the Spurs as a because they were old, but yeah, they. I mean, of course, they had chemistry. They've been together. Most of those guys been together for years. For some of them more than 10 years. So yeah, that's they were a different beast, but I just feel like the Clippers do have something in them that they can right the wrongs of these last couple of their franchise and finally do something that the people can cheer for the Clippers.
No, they won't. And when they fail again and let you down again, I'll be sitting here letting you know that they did just that.
It's okay because we will also be sitting here letting you know whenever LeBron lets you down again.
It's crazy. You guys, when they bring up the Lakers, nobody's talking about the Lakers. Nobody said nothing.
Okay, how about this? The
LeBron.
Clippers will beat the Lakers in a 7-game series.
In a
Give me
7-game
that much.
series,
Give me that much.
I wouldn't pick them to beat the Lakers, but
come
that's
on.
a closer argument that we could have instead of them beating the Denver Nuggets. I mean, come on, man.
I think there is a reason why Nigel never brought up the Lakers because he didn't have faith in them to beat the Clippers.
I'm not bringing up the Lakers because they're not part of the discussion. You guys are hung up on the Clippers, and I'm just saying I don't believe in them because they haven't shown me anything to believe in the past 5 years. Because you can't rely on your superstar players because they're never available or they underperform.
Okay, I'm not going there. All right, we going. It's your show today. So
No, clearly it's not. This show has been your two's takes being absolutely egregious all show long. I'm done. I got nothing left. We're not even going to do Coach of the Year or MIP because
casual. Mediocrity is that's tough on the Clippers. I think they're a solid team.
Thank you, casual. Get them because good Lord, we got to get a drug test out for both of my co-hosts because this is ridiculous. This is getting out of hand. All right, but
I'm gonna clip this when the Clippers are at their parade going through LA. We're gonna bring up this
parade. Yeah, y'all are just milking this, man.
I never said championship. I never said championship. Though.
No, they haven't done nothing casual. I'm trolling for the most part.
Because
ain't no way. I know he can't stand James Harden and the Clippers, and Kawhi is not quite his guy. So, but I do believe in my prediction that they will do well next season. I might not say championship. They're not going to be having a parade in LA, but
they're not beating the Rockets. They're not beating the Nuggets. Can we say that confidently too?
Lakers aren't either.
We're not talking about the Lakers. Do you hear me saying the Lakers?
I give the Clippers a chance against both those.
I have common sense. I'm not saying the Lakers are going to beat the top teams. I'm not sitting here saying that.
Boy, man.
I think the Lakers will be cool, but to say they're beating the top of the top,
will they be better than Clippers? Will they be better than the Clippers?
In the regular season or the postseason?
Both.
Will the Lakers be better? The Lakers in the regular season, they'll be better than the Clippers. In the postseason, yeah, they'll be better than the Clippers. Plug it.
Okay. I'll agree. I mean, I will concede that to you because I know you think that. It's wrong.
To be determined.
To be determined. All right, that's all we got for this show. It's gone a little bit longer. We had some very interesting things that were said on this show. Thank you for watching the show. Let me know your thoughts down below on the teams. Does anybody down in the comment section have any faith in the Clippers? Please let me know down below. Am I on my own in this island where I don't have that much faith in the Clippers? Whatever. Appreciate everybody who pulled up to the stream, and we might need to start a GoFundMe because we need to get my co-host drug test, both of them immediately, because it's getting ridiculous. That being said, I appreciate Ron Dog. I appreciate you, CW. King Speech, Casual. I saw Sports Talk Only. T Perfect, all y'all. I appreciate all y'all for pulling up, and we will be back very soon.
I guess we're gonna keep it going.
Yeah,
for the debate. So I was going to stop it and redo the stream, but we could just go from here.
Oh, y'all are gonna do the debate now?
Well, I've got to step away for a few, but after that, I can do the debate.
Okay. Well, stay tuned for was it King Speech and CW as they debate Tim Duncan versus Hakeem Olajuwon. CW is supporting CW is supporting Duncan. King Speech is supporting Hakeem. Definitely look forward to seeing that as well. So I think they're going to make a clean stream according to what King Speech is saying. So
I'm gonna just I'm gonna redo it, and we'll start it in probably 20 or so minutes. A few things I got to do, but okay. Appreciate Big Nines for hosting and Clippers in 4.
All right, y'all. Goodbye.